We begin this segment with the latest from the National Emergency Center at the Office of the Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM. Officials there gave the latest on the hurricane's impact. Our reporter, Andrea Chisholm, was there.
Janela, the Met Office indicating that Jamaica would be experiencing hurricane force winds as well as tropical storm force winds across the island. And we're definitely experiencing those conditions here now at the offices of ODPEM here on Haining Road in St. Andrew. It's as a result of the spiral bands associated with Hurricane Melissa. Now, at the press conference late this evening, local government minister Desmond McKenzie indicated that over 530,000 JPS customers are now without electricity, and over 15,000 individuals are in shelters right across the island. He also pointed out that the Falmouth Hospital in Trelawney has been affected by storm surges. The Noel Homes as well as the Cornwall Regional Hospitals have been affected by flooding. And the Black River Hospital, a section of the roof at that hospital, was damaged.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness is conducting an evaluation of the situation, and 75 patients were removed from that hospital to safety. Block roads right across the country. Almost every parish is experiencing block road, fallen trees, utility poles, and excess flooding in many communities. Anian Town Alley, Seven Rivers in St. James are experiencing flooded bridges.
The local government minister also gave an update about another important entity under his portfolio.
There are some concerns that has been raised, and we had to put in emergency measures in our infirmaries. The infirmary in Santa Cruz, based on the flooding of the area, was affected. 50 residents had to be relocated to a different section of the facility. The fire brigade station in Santa Cruz was flooded out because of excessive flood waters. And the Ministry of Local Government, through the Board of Supervision, has been monitoring all infirmaries across the country to ensure that our residents in these infirmaries are in good condition.
So the government is on standby to do a rapid assessment of the extensive damage caused by Hurricane Melissa. And we were also told that relief supplies are being organized to offer support to those who need it as soon as the all clear is given. Reporting live from the offices of ODPEM in St. Andrew, I'm Andrea Chisholm for TVJ News.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Well, the local government minister, Desmond McKenzie, also provided further details on the devastation in the parish of St. Elizabeth.
We have reports coming out of Black River. Our number of families being trapped in their homes. And it was difficult for the rescue team to get there. We are getting stories, and I don't want to say it publicly before we can confirm it, that there may be a situation that we don't want to happen, but I'm not prepared to say that until we get the full details. But I know at least 3 families were marooned at home and was having difficulty because persons to undertake the rescue could not venture out at the time because of the conditions that exist. And we are hoping and praying that the situation will ease so that some attempts can be made to get to those persons.
Let's turn our attention to the transport sector now. We are now joined by the Transport Minister, Daryl Vaz, who joins us live on Zoom. Minister, thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening to you. Good evening to Jamaica. Hope everybody is safe.
Yes, indeed. Minister, one of the questions that we have been getting a lot of is when will the airports be open for business again?
So far, we expect to do an assessment of Norman Manley International Airport tomorrow. But based on the preliminary reports, we are hoping that we can open Norman Manley for relief flights on Thursday, based on the fact that we will need to do a deeper assessment of Montego Bay Airport because of the weather that affected it today. I have got preliminary reports of some damage, but thankfully so far the damage that I've received doesn't seem to be anything that cannot be taken care of in short order. Also, I'm looking at the Ian Fleming Airport for smaller aircraft to be able to use that also as a landing point for relief efforts in the coming days. But hopefully, as I said before, Thursday, Norman Manley, that will be the main airport that we will use for relief supplies. And hopefully by Friday into the weekend, we can definitely use Norman Manley for commercial and passenger flights in and out of the country.
Sir, what about the JUTC? Have you observed any, or have you gotten any reports of damage done to buses or the infrastructure, particularly in St. Catherine?
No, absolutely not. The only problem that we would have for JUTC is the fact that we have a number of CNG buses and the plant was decommissioned because of the weather. We do have certain storage at the Spanish Town Depot, Portmore Depot, sorry. So we will be able to use that at least for a few days, hopefully, based on the fact that we didn't have maximum damage in Kingston or St. Catherine, that it won't interrupt our service with the buses. But we have other buses that we can use. And I can also state that as of today, an arrangement has put in place by virtue of me approving additional spectrum for Flow and Digicel to use Starlink as a backup so that if their system does not come up right away, the customers of Flow and Digicel will be able to communicate using the Starlink backbone, which will keep everybody in communication, including the government apparatus and, of course, customers in the immediate. So we are well advanced in our plans for the recovery, and I'm just hoping that we will be able to get on to the recovery as quickly as possible, which means that both Montego Bay and Norman Manley and Ian Fleming will be needed for the recovery efforts. And so far, so good. I'll be going up tomorrow to take a look at both Norman Manley and Montego Bay and Ian Fleming from the air and doing a reconnaissance with JPS tomorrow to see exactly what the status is, and I'll give a full report on the JPS situation and restoration in short order.
Thank you so much. That was the Minister of Transport, Darrell Vaz, joining us live there.